myself, okay? And once you get your finances in order, you can have control of your life. Now, here at this part, I've had many different versions running in my head. One leading towards the people, which, and another one has been just to leave it there, and another one has been to not really get political about it, but having a set way to things that are happening nationwide, okay? And then leading into the people pitch. Okay? So I'm gonna give you the people pitch. Okay? All right. So which one is that one? Getting your house in order. How did I finish that one? I'm sorry.
That this is possible through.
Okay, so I want to thank you all for coming. I need you to understand that this is all possible, okay, because of the union. The union, it wasn't me. This is not Raul Rodriguez workshop. This is DC37 workshop with our international ASME. They're the ones that, went out there on the forefront and partnered with the CFPB. And because of them and their work and their diligence, we're able to bring this workshop to you. But understand this, like I mentioned before, we have a administration right now that is not friendly to the working class. And we're not talking about, it doesn't matter to me right now if you're Republican, Democrat, or Independent. We're not talking about that. I don't want to talk about that. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, brown, yellow, purple, it doesn't matter. This current administration is not a friendly administration to the working class. Okay? And one thing that the CFPB has demonstrated is that they're here for everyone, including the working class. And that's what our union does. Our union fights for the working class. Understand that the CFPB has been under attack since this new administration took over. They operate outside the federal government. Okay? They operate outside of Congress, outside the Senate. They don't answer to anyone. They only answer to us. They want to get rid of them from day one. The same way they want to get rid of the CFPB, that they want to get rid of unions, because we are the watchdog and the advocates for the working class. This every year comes up, and every year they want to get rid of it. It is important that we do our part. Your union dues pay for a lot of the resources that are here, okay? But one thing that they do not pay for is to advocate for a lot of these benefits. Is to advocate to make sure that the union is standing strong, to make sure that they can deliver these benefits. For as little as $2 a pay period, you can help the fight to contribute. $4 a pay period. Is this checked out? Because I'm going to figure it out. For as little as $4 a pay period, just $2 a week, you can help the people that are fighting for you and your family to continue that fight. And you know what? At the end of the day, put it on your spending track. Don't worry about it. You'll be able to track it. She gave me that one.
But that's before taxes, so it's not even, that's before taxes. That's pre-tax.
It just brings down your, that's right.
Yep.
Listen, it's only $2 a paycheck. Okay, that's good. It's only $2 a week. And at the end of the day, it's growing your taxable income. Okay, so it's coming out right before taxes. So it helps you, and it helps to continue the fight. Because understand this, you can't do it alone, you can't do it alone, you can't do it alone. But all of us together, we can make a difference. I want to thank you all for coming. Please make sure you fill out the evaluations, okay? So there's 15 of you here, so I'm expecting 15, okay, people, okay, forms to be sent back to me, okay, before you leave. Don't take them home, don't waste my paper, okay? You can do it here, it only takes 2 minutes. And I can stay behind to address any questions or any concerns. Thank you all for coming, I appreciate you.
So, at the top you said you were wondering whether it should be a series or if it should be one workshop.
Say that again.
At the top you had a question whether it should be a series or one workshop.
And the reason for that is for the only thing that was freaking me out for the whole morning which was, you can talk about it, which was
The lane.
time.
So I timed us, we started at exactly 2:30 and it's 3:36.
What is it?
And we interrupted,
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think this works as a civics. I think everything bleeds over.
into one of
So
the.
we did all of this,
Yeah.
we did all of this in an hour? Holy shit. I thought, here, I'm still thinking, and I'm like, shit, Jeremy gotta go upstairs. Okay, Kenneth gotta go. Okay, I thought that we were going for at least an hour and a half.
No,
At
it's-
least, an hour.
And that, I think the time was right, because it didn't feel, at least to me, it didn't feel like an hour. But I don't think this works in series. I think this has to be one standard.
If I just for clarification, are you saying it's an hour or it's just be one day? I just wanna make sure. Before we go. You saying it's like just like 1 hour or if you would essentially like
I think,
one day?
I think it'll bleed over more than an hour if you have more people.
Right.
Because then you'll get up to like hour and a half.
I mean,
Yeah.
now,
But,
Which, by the way, sorry, I don't wanna cut you off, because I still wanna get everything that you said, but which, by the way, an hour and a half is what we budget always for time frame. Because we start at 6. So I do registration at 5:30. And literally at 6 we start. And my goal is always to get people out between 7:30 and 8. So, and I can't believe that we did this in an hour. Okay?
And we didn't really give time to the breakouts, obviously.
Right.
But we did
Yeah.
interrupt several
Right.
times to just, talk about the content.
Mhm.
So I think overall, with anything, I think 10, maybe even 15 or smaller, you're gonna run about an hour.
Okay.
And then more than that, I think you're definitely into an hour and a half.
Okay. No, but this is good, because I was thinking it would take me freaking 2 hours.
no, but I think we definitely need to do it as one workshop.
Okay.
Even if we don't, this is based off of a much larger
Oh my God.
workbook, which is not
Right.
beautiful. like
Carmen
this.
has it,
Oh,
300
yeah,
pages.
Exactly.
So the feedback that I will give you in the presentation, I think there are 3 components that will be very important to our members. And it will be the opening remarks, how you begin the workshop. And I'm suggesting that we say this, the union is here for you.
I'm going to put my time there, okay?
The union is here for you, even the brochure, it should be a different type of thing. And the reason why I'm saying that is because in the climate that we are, the more that we put out there that the union is there for them, the more people we get involved in any of the workshops, any of the things that are happening. And they literally will see, because if you send a workshop, if you send a brochure out, let's say I take the training, and the brochure says, my union or something of that sort, something catchy, the next person is gonna be like, wait a minute. Because we used to seeing everything that
The
has,
brochure for the resource.
if we used to seeing everything that has like the logo DC 37, or everything is the same. We need to have to, we have to shift it. We have to shift it. We have to shift the face of any brochure, we have to shift it. Because if I pick this up, I don't care how many tabs you have, I'm gonna think it's the same thing that I've been seeing. So we have to, like shift it, something different in the front. My union working for me, or, my union, question mark, or my union, something that includes the member as part of the process, even though they want the benefit, but as part of the process.
In the schools division, when I was in web, we had the same. Did you know?
Yeah, we have that. We have one of those columns in our old newsletters. Did you know, with a question mark, but we need to include them like 100%. And the other part is that we should concentrate on the income expense and how to project where to cut. In other words, that even though we have a lot of information, that could be at a later date create another, like you say, it could be a series at another thing. But for the most part,
Income expense and which one?
income expense
How do we do it?
and how to reduce it, right?
Got it.
In other words, where does my money come from? Where does my money go? And, oh, the other part is the bills. What are the bills and when they are due? That's very important.
Well, we also have to think about, we have to get more clarification on, you know, like, the whole thing, like the before and pre-tax. And I want to be able to have actual answers for that and then not just like.
And also the housing issue in Kenny brought up.
What was that issue? Kenny?
HPD and New City Housing Authority, based on your income, it can,
Yeah, that's when it, because that's across the board. That doesn't matter which local you belong to.
Right.
We have membership in housing.
14,000 members.
Yeah, so that, and a lot of them come to our workshop. Yeah, so that one we need, I just
we,
need.
we try to encourage them, once again, off the record, if you could do comp time, it's better. But some people need the money.
Right,
But once they get taxed, and then they go to housing authority with the recertification, Carmen just educated me, it's 3 months, I thought it was every year, when I was in housing years ago. So now, for the whole year, you get all this rent, but you ain't getting overtime.
Please make sure you put that on the feedback, on the making notes on the presentation, because so that's a follow-up. That's not just feedback.
Can I ask a question to the three of you? So we debated a bunch about how much participation versus lecture we should
Good
have.
question.
Because especially if we're trying, like, it's one, like Raul, you're a very dynamic speaker, but not everyone is gonna be this dynamic. So we're trying to create something that even a slightly less experienced facilitator isn't gonna just read up in front of the room. So,
We're trying to create a script.
That's why if you do those 3 areas, you will have no, you know, because you open up. I mean, we used to speak in the 3 of us, so it's gonna come natural to us. But
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 if
as
you
far
was
as the room, as
participatory
far as the
enough,
room.
exactly,
I
yeah.
think it needs to. Because I think that's the only way you can get by it. And people offer their own anecdotes to further analyze the situation.
And just so we get a clear understanding, we don't do breakouts on our workshops. We do lecture series. We set up auditorium style, there's no tables. The members don't take notes when they come to the workshop.
I don't think this is a breakout, like, say, seminar either.
Hold on. So we tell them you don't have to take any notes because you're taking the whole package. But again, we debated back and forth because it's more of a hands-on that we've ever done before. Okay, because you gotta fill out, you're being asked questions, we're being asked feedback, okay? And that's why we incorporated 2 things, like the way it was designed at first was just a lecture series. But then we had conversations back and forth, and we decided to add the needs and wants as kind of like a silent, no feedback, but you know, something that they have to work on. And then the pair up is the piece that with the categories.
Which was a little weird because we were such a small group, but in
Right.
theory,
But in
everybody
theory.
would get a really.
Right.
But I think it kind of worked
But
out.
you
So
say
because
period,
the
mirrors
were-
period up?
What's- what's
Mirrors
that?
period up?
Yeah.
That's probably-
Yes.
Yeah.
That's gonna be, I think, a little difficult.
Yeah, I
don't-
can't.
Even
I
with this
can't-
topic, because the topic isn't personal, it's like, how
Yeah,
can
the
you
topic
get
is not
extra, it's
personal.
like, how can I avoid fees?
Well,
It's not.
Well, if I may, I just talk about the members that I've been representing, I've been here over 20 years, the city 34 years. I don't think that's gonna be good to this body, let me just say that. We can do this. Because like Carmen said, we speak well, we kind of know pros and cons and have to deal with budgets. Your audience is a group of people who need advice and want you to advise them of what to do to reduce their expenditures because they're on a smaller income. So for them to pair up, is really, they may have the same or similar situation, but they're not gonna get the same or similar solution. The solution has to come from people like yourselves and also who have a little more experience. I'm just my own opinion, I'm here, right? That help them. For example, a lot of them don't think about the rent thing with the housing authority, with the increase in.
I didn't think
Right.
about it.
A lot of them don't think about how you can reduce your credit card bill and your car note by the interest rate. Those usually from people who think outside the box. A lot of, I remember not saying they're uneducated, they're not smart, they're not savvy, but a lot of them are coming to us for guidance. So to pair them up, you're just gonna hear more problems or conflicts, but you're not gonna hear a resolution to their disputes. I think the dispute and help resolve the issue with resources, like you said, tap into our legal department, our mail, our housing. I think it should be one of us because we may be setting them up for double failure. Because me and Jeremy sitting here, we got a whole bunch of problems, but Jeremy knows a damn thing, okay, I got the problem, how do I fix this problem? That's when you're gonna need somebody like yourself to say, I need to start at step A before I get to Z. I need, this can help, but they need somebody to guide them. That's my opinion. You may disagree.
Everybody has a, if I was doing a presentation, I would have the easel where you could write it in, and I would ask I would put a question. It could be, how will you reduce your income for this month? You know, something of that nature, and just get participation from the people as before you even begin the presentation. So then you know which areas are the most stronger areas that you need to
Right.
spend more time in.
Right.
For example, I can say, oh, how do I pay for my child's daycare? Or how do I pay for my child's summer camp when I got all these bills? And you get people to start thinking. Even if you don't have no kids, you got people to start thinking. And then you put needs and wants.
So I should have begged you 25 cents.
Can we,
That's how Olga wanted to open.
Needs and wants.
we have a prompting question that Carmen was suggesting,
Right.
these little groups,
Mhm.
do you think we'll still have that same problem?
That will help. That will help. But maybe I'm thinking this is wrong. I'm thinking there's a tool to help our members be more financially efficient, taking some of the stress off of them, and to give them the tools they need. Whatever your income, you can make up $1 million a year to $100 a year. How you do it? I agree with Carmen about empowering them, doing that. But we still need. There have to be a coach there. I'm just saying, coaches that help navigate through some of this stuff because we make, once again, I'm talking about resolution. I need some help. I heard Jeremy's situation, I heard Colin's situation, I heard the Ashley situation. But what could I do, Mr. Logan, to fix this? Because I done tried everything on my own. That's why I'm here.
I'm out of ideas.
Right. I'm here because I done tried everything. So my back went against the wall. I'm a little embarrassed. What could I do from a short-term, long-term, that I could still feed my family and get this done? Because a lot of people are coming here because their backs up against the wall.
And they don't really know how to begin.
They don't know where to begin.
You know, and, yeah.
But I do want to say this, but the good thing that I do like about this presentation, I ain't trying to talk too much. I like what you said, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm a member. That is a great thing right there. That's a beautiful thing. That means, I'm one of you. I connect with you
That's
automatically.
important. That's the most important
When you get
part.
your financial advisor, they automatically like, a little turned off because they don't know if they can go that route. You talk, I'm just like one of you. So I need help. Is that right there? That's the home run. That's the home run right there.
That was one of the questions that I had, right? Like, I know I stopped back and forth because we're looking to, again, this is the information that we're presenting, that's the PowerPoint. We're just trying to find better ways to deliver this information, okay? Other than the way they wanted it, so we're coming up with we're literally rewriting how to deliver this information. So that's one question that I had was, did you feel that there was a connection with the way that I was presenting? I mean, not to sound too corny, I try to put myself in a way that I'm giving them things that I've done. So the level of I'm coming here, I'm embarrassed about this situation, kind of like slowly fades away where people can open up a little bit more and participate. So was that somewhat?
I thought the presentation was, in terms of you being the one who presented to us.
Or you actually just cut the presentation to 3 pieces, because the more time that you have for them to be participatory in the questioning and the things, how to do it better, that's the best part of a workshop. When people get opportunity to really engage and have those conversations, that's the most important part. any
I
question.
wonder if we can find, hearing you say that, and I am also a staunch believer, because of my, I think partially because of my own learning style. If I'm just lectured at, I do not take in as much information. Yeah, and so I wonder if we can find a participatory question for each section. So, and I don't think it can be like them filling it in by themselves isn't quite right. So maybe with income, it's like, maybe the question is, okay, so you know you have your primary job, what are other ways that people have income? And just get, and then write that
Exactly.
out.
That's what I
I
said.
didn't even think of rental.
That's what I
income.
said.
Mhm.
That's what I said.
And then number two, you go through this example like you would normally, and then you do, okay, so what are our needs and wants? And then you flip chart that. So I think we need to find a flip chart question, participatory question for all of them. And then it's gonna break it up really nicely.
You know what I'm gonna forget all this.
No.
So you better get
Because the most, what I don't like about the way, the style of workshops that we do that is monotonous is because we always have the same style. People don't have opportunity to engage, right? And it's like, okay, we have a lecture, here you go, take a paper, bye.
Take it.
And then they talk so much that by the time the workshop is over, there's no time for back and forth, for questioning or wrap up, none of that.
That's what
So-
ours.
So I would suggest smaller groups, you know, like 50 or less.
Yeah, okay,
Because
so,
you get 50 and then you get 30, but at least target 50 so you could get 30. And smaller presentation. Room, not room one.
no, so we
No.
don't, so I don't do
One
room
is the big
one.
one, right?
Yeah, not room one. You could do what we did for the Latino Heritage Opening, and we did 2, 3, and 4. And you make switch the room around, do a different style. Like, I learned that in Harvard. That the way you set up, like the way you set up the room today was nice. It's different.
This is completely, I went upstairs, she's like, so we should set it up, so I was a surprise. I come down with, what the hell?
Yeah. So,
it was good.
the way you set up the room is inviting, people pay more attention. It's like no round tables. I detest the round tables. Yeah, L shape, you know what I like?
Yeah.
I like
The
this.
orientation.
Yes, I like these tables, but you open them up,
So it's you.
and you have you and me.
When we do the
And
orientation.
me and you, it's
that's
like
what we do.
facing each other,
Right.
and then the open space allows there you go.
When we do orientations, we have no round table. We do the U shape, you are facing me, that's how we do it.
Yeah, this is good.
And you can
I like
also-
this setup.
You can give them an example, like, okay, I was there too. I had to file bankruptcy.
Right,
And then after I filed bankruptcy, I had to sit there and be financially responsible because I wasn't. So as a result of that, these are some of the steps I took then to help me now. I mean, honestly, that's really what happened. But sometimes you got a life story and they can be like, I remember, no financial advisor, my civil service advisor, elderly specialist, I'm the same thing as you. So, sometimes it's a real approach. It's a real approach. Just like what you said, I'm one of you.
other people.
Was the people who closed, sorry.
No, so I didn't understand this. At least, does that do? So one of the things I just said, it just needs to be explained.
Okay.
Yeah, but that, because if we're gonna have them give feedback, either pairing up or not pairing up, that's also a piece that we're gonna ask them for feedback, right? So, yeah, I think we gotta look into some feedback.
The reason why I think pairing up won't work because in my experience,
Since I got a bottom, so.
How about you?
in my experience, the pairing up, they don't wanna talk about their personal business or they engage for too long and that cuts into the meat and potatoes of the presentation. So that's the only reason. But you could give them 5 minutes to, all right, you could give them like 5 minutes to, think about the prompting question. You know,
And then get the feedback.
right, yeah, like on a flip chart. You know how we do the
You know what else?
organizing?
We could also post the flip charts around the room. put like each one of
Questions.
these,
Perfect.
like,
Yeah.
flow chart.
Yeah,
And then just do 5 minutes where everybody rotates and you write your ideas. We
Right.
Rotate around the room
mhm,
and.
yeah.
And then just review the answers as a group.
And that will get them engaged. So that's the engagement that we want.
Mhm.
Okay, so that will, okay. So we can still get what we want, just different.
Exactly. And then we still leave these, so.
And that's a good way to do, presentation that's universal. Because then everybody knows, okay, if you're doing this workshop, you have to have your flip charts ready at the wall. This is when you ask the question, it's when you get the feedback. And it's more of a universal presentation, even though you bring your own flavor, because every time you make a presentation, you bring your own, right, your own style. But at least you have some things that are already standards, that this is to help you to this part of the presentation.
So, okay, so we'll talk about that. Because I think that, at one point, and I'm saying at one point is because every time we have a conversation, it's just that idea diminishes and diminishes even more. We really thought about we put together a word for word script. But I think that even though on all the feedback that we're getting now, and I didn't use the script, I use an outline.
Yeah, just
I use
objective. Yeah, just an
as
outline.
Not a word for word script.
No.
I mean, and everything that I typed up here, a lot of it I shared it because I was the one that wrote it, so I know, right? But to have, let's say Carmen can pick this up one day and say, I'm gonna do the workshop at a location, I don't think that the script will work for her. I think that what we need is an outline, and sort of like an outline and a to-do, making sure to-do things.
I think it'll follow the PowerPoint, it can just say, make sure to hit.
And then you have different audiences. That PowerPoint, you're gonna lose them. So you got audience that the PowerPoint will lose them because you're doing it in an hour and they running to have lunch. Let's say you have a short version, right? Let's say we have a short version at the location at lunchtime, because that's what I'm envisioning, right? So let's say we do 2 points. Okay, how could you get your finances on track, right? So you send a flyer. How can you get your finances on track? 5 tips, right? This is short. Yeah, you have to, I'm telling you, because I work in a different perspective, right? I'm a field grievance representative, so I'm in the field, right? All the time. So if I want to
If
get,
you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this at like a lunchroom.
right, or we could do it when we have our own shops or conference or whatever. But if I'm doing it, my way of thinking, if I'm doing it at the location, which is a great thing to do at the location, I will do it like 5 things.
Yeah, you need like 45
5,
minutes. 'cause
right,
I'm in
5
there.
days.
And you still need to do the
Right,
people pitch. or
and
the-
I won't do it as a PowerPoint, because I will lose them.
You're
Be
right.
like, I don't got time to see all that,
If they're coming in the
right?
first time, they're-
Yeah, so I will do
So
5
you would
ways
have
to,
literally
yeah,
this.
absolutely, I would
You
just
could just
do,
be like, okay, so open it up right here, and then you just talk about it like.
or I could say, a tracker, get your bills in order, how to get your bills in order. Give you the calendar, put your bills, how to get your bills in order, that could be one thing. I could talk about a lunchtime meeting. And another lunchtime meeting, I could say, do you know where your money goes? Track your spending habits. That's another thing. And I could do another one, say, how could you get your bills due on time? Right, and I could do 3 different,
Over lunchtime?
Right.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
So they
There's a
become
series.
45-minute pieces that we split up in 3 or 2 at least. Oh, yeah. So 1 long one, or 2 to 3 short.
you could have a combination. Let's say the unit is offering
Yeah. we
this
should have both.
presentation here from 6 to 8, and then the field like we have lunchtime meetings.
Yeah.
We have lunchtime, let's say at my lunchtime meeting this month, I'm gonna choose on, tracking, how do you spend your money?
You could do a trainer with all your staff, and then all your staff know how to do the 45-minute sections, and then anytime it makes sense in your turf to work that, you can do it.
Better than I expected.
We got 3 people in the room, but we got the right 3 people.
Tell you, not the pinky and the brain. We got pinky somewhere else. But, you know, like, I always look into different ways of sharing the information with the members.
Yeah, and nationally, that makes so much sense, because every single affiliate's gonna have just the same questions that you guys have. Not all of them are cookie cutter the exact same, and not every member's facing the same situation. So how do you build in enough variety so that, so that everyone can actually get something out of it,
And then you gotta know your audience,
right?
right? If you go to deal with people that work in the parks department, and you go your audience is having a lunchtime meeting in the parks department, you're not gonna give them a 45-minute presentation either. You're gonna say, today we're gonna talk about how do you spend your money? Create a plan, how you spend your money, so that you know how to organize your bills better. Simple. You give them the calendar of how they spend their money, where their income comes, and you give them a calendar on how to plug in the bills, the days they gotta pay. Simple, 30 minutes presentation.
And then
You wanna see extra stuff? We having a workshop at the union. We having a workshop at the union on this day from 6 to 8. You get to answer all your questions, and it will be more in depth.
it's like a preview, it's like
Like
a
a,
promotion.
trailer.
yeah,
It's easier than.
like a teaser, right?
Oh, God, I love that idea. Yeah. What's your focus right now, in terms of your council? Are you
We focusing on
the
the
recommit cards or?
the recommit, and we also on the Constitution Convention.
Janice.
So those are the 2 things that we focus in.
Is there an ask along with the Constitutional Convention?
Yeah, it's a card,
Okay.
it's a
We have,
A pledge card.
So maybe that's actually what you should ask. I mean, I'm not saying that the people isn't the right approach, but
Right, but this is.
whatever the priority is at this exact moment is what I.
But the reason why we could tie this with the people is because, remember, through legislation, that's how this came about.
Yeah,
That's why
absolutely right. Yeah, that-
it's like a biggest connection there.
And you could have the pledge beforehand anyway. Like, you can have all that information out, and you can say, as you come in, here's a little bit of information, yep.
But I do that on my lunchtime meetings.
Yeah.
So this will be another tool that, I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna do a test on my, I'm gonna begin with the money.
And see.
Like,
Let us
how do you
know
spend your money?
how it goes.
How do you spend your money? Right? And then give them an idea of a tracker, like how do you spend your, this one right here. And then, once they see that, we're gonna go back to, instead of going from the beginning, we're gonna go to this. Cause everybody wanna know where they spend their money.